knows it.
I haven't heard from Stealth yet today. And
Stealth
Xavier
would
is
have a
not
lot
joining
to-
today. He's busy.
Well, I did talk to Stealth earlier, like 3 hours ago, max. Like 2-3 hours ago.
Well, anyway, we are live. This is episode 29 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. Today we're talking about relationships.
I want to mention one quick relationship. This is the last day of me being 29, and it's our 29th episode.
Oh, hang on. I didn't update the stream title.
Yeah, I was about to say that, homie. You might want to update that.
But
It's a little bit of false advertising on Twitch.
Today is the 29th episode, and it's my last day being 29.
There we go.
Fucking Christ.
Oh, happy early birthday, Vampy.
It's tomorrow.
No one cares about Vampy. Why would we care about
Oh
him?
my fucking god.
Wow.
I will drink to that. You get... Don't... I am going to...
Bro, the older I get, the more I realize everyone just wants me to die quicker. So, that's all you got to look forward to at this point.
Got it.
From that one.
So, today we're talking about relationships. Just want to start off. Who here has been in a relationship in the last few years? Let's say
I've been
last
in a
3,
couple.
4 years.
Oh yeah, I've been in at least one. in the
I would
last
say, yeah.
years. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
Did he die?
I think he did.
Did Turtle
Alright.
die? Yes, I believe he did.
Oh,
All
great.
right.
Anyways,
Well, so let's go off the notes.
So-
We just he just asked what relationships. Okay, good or bad? Let's go ahead and establish that. On a scale of 1 to 10.
No. First, it was we wanted to start with. There's long distance, online, and real life. I
Mhm.
count all three as separate things, because long distance can still be real life if you've known each other and they just had to move. So that's kind
That's
of an
true.
iffy situation.
Yeah, think
someone
about
goes
how
to
they did it
college
before
or
the.
moves out of town.
Think
Yeah,
about how they did it
exactly.
back in the day before the internet. I mean, it was just literally pen pals that became something much more serious. You know, they sent Polaroids and shit over the mail.
Or you just married someone from your town. That's just the way it ended up. You
And
found
then the
person you
90s
liked
came
most,
around, and
could
next thing you
settle
know,
down.
ASL was a thing.
Oh my
God, I
god.
forgot about ASL.
Yep, age, sex,
So-
location. I grew up in that era.
Online
same.
relationships are, for me, online relationships are alright. Because they can be close distance as much as long distance, depending on, where you two are at. And because I just consider that that's how you met online.
That's
so-
fair. It is a different type of relationship though, because unless they're comfortable giving name and location, then all you know is their persona online. But it is a relationship. I will agree to that.
Have you seen that one
Usually-
movie that was? It was a couple years ago. There was a documentary that made it to HBO. It was filmed in It was filmed in VR chat, and it went to HBO, and it talked about. I think it was called "We Met in VR." Did you ever watch that? It was like a whole
I
documentary
believe-
about during the lockdowns during 2020, and
Yeah.
all these people were kind of using VR chat as a means to like overcome like just
Oh yeah, no.
the fact they don't.
That's just...
They met in virtual reality. Is that what it's called?
I believe
I'm in
that's what
Turtle's
it's
chat.
called.
I thought it was We Met
Yeah.
in VR. 2 of my friends are in it. I know that.
So, well, I would prefer an IRL. Long distance is not preferred. But if I can meet
Well,
someone
here's the
online,
thing.
that's not
They
bad
actually were long distance, and then I think they. Don't quote me on this because I can't really confirm or
either.
deny.
Remember?
They actually moved in together, or were planning on it. I don't know if that ever materialized or not. I haven't spoken to them in years, but there are those kind of relationships. I mean, we're not naming names, but I can tell you right now, there are plenty of stories that people have met in this game, and now they're happily married.
Oh yeah, no, I
could
know that.
Easily name some names, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, you can find the perfect match on here, but you also have to find that perfect match because it's not gonna be easy. And you're literally VR chat is how many millions of people technically, and now there's so many young kids. It's hard to find the adults as well now.
All right,
So,
Vampy, let me ask you:
that.
do you think it's easier to find or to call? Do you think it's easier to cultivate a relationship here in VR chat or in real life for yourself, like you personally? Do you think it's easier or harder for you to do one or the other?
Honestly, for me, my situation is it'd probably be easier on here, only because I'm more willing to move about and get open into other worlds. Whereas real life, I tend to just stay at my house and not do much.
What about you, Sobi?
I feel like I feel like it is easier in VR, just because I can be myself in VR, where I have social anxiety IRL, so it's a lot harder for me to open up naturally.
Yeah, I tend to be, I guess you could consider shy or socially anxious. Whichever,
Believe it or not, I'm more
because even in
shy
VR
and socially
chat,
anxious online than I am IRL, because IRL, I used to play in a band, so, like, when you're on stage and you're playing in front of a live audience, you kind of overcome that layer of anxiety to some extent, so it's not as bad. But it's still there to some extent, but I'm way more nervous online talking to people than I am actually IRL. I don't know how that works, but it just does.
No. Each person's different. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
it's the same either side. I have the same nervousness. It's like I have to wait for that person to approach me. If they don't approach me, then I can't really do it. Unless I crack a joke. Like, that's, I have to crack a joke first. Otherwise... I just can't.
I'm
Hey,
kind of the
laughter is
same way.
the quickest way.
That
Well,
doesn't seem to get me
Pause
friend-zoned
that,
very
but
fast.
that was
Be daring to
Oh,
come
don't worry,
online,
we
I
were
guess.
holding up the scene.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I was
held down
gonna
the
wrap
fort.
it up by saying the only reason
So-
I'm anxious IRL meeting people is just because of the way I grew up. You all know the disability I have. It made me,
you got
it made me
a lot of
cautious
things
of
head.
people.
You got lots of things in your head.
You mean, it made you self-conscious, essentially.
Exactly. As a kid, I was
Understandable.
always being stared at. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I was always the weird kid. But the
No,
different kid, so...
You're
I felt
still
that
the
way
weird
until I
Better
kid.
than
realized-
me. I was just a fucking nerd.
I felt that way until I realized I was a part of the weird kids
Vampy?
club. Like, I realized everyone around me is just as
Glance at
fucking
the
weird
room.
as I am. And I feel like more
No,
welcome
like, I
when you
was
have that
the
knowledge,
Straight
Even
A
when I was
plus
in high
kid,
school.
all the way.
It's just like,
way
goddamn,
through
y'all
halfway
listen to
through
Korn
middle
too?
school.
So great, I'm not a
Like,
fucking weirdo.
That kind of nerd.
So
Okay, I need to take my headset off real
what
quick,
is going
so-
on with my hip?
I don't know. It looked like you're doing some weird yoga pose.
Yumga.
There we go. So, we were talking about online versus IRL relationships, right? So, I have only had 2 IRL relationships in my life, and I'm not going to talk about either one of them at all. I'm not going to talk about any specific relationships that I've ever been in at all today. And also, Stealth, just a note, no names. We do not name names today.
I wasn't gonna.
The only
Good.
name
I'm just
he
making
would
sure that's
probably
clear.
reference is his wife, and I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah,
everyone knows
he
his
can
wife's
talk
name.
about her as much as he wants. But
She is also unfortunately not available right now. I invited her, but they've
But
got
just-
stuff going on.
just because if we talk about the negatives of something, we don't want to be putting that to a name. We don't want to do that at all. We want to be
Yeah.
reasonable about it. So, online or IRL? See,
Do you want me to
I
ask you the same
cannot
question?
meet people. I cannot meet people IRL. Worth a shit. But I can meet people
met me
online. But
just
I also
fine.
need to. I cannot meet anyone within 1,000 freaking miles of me.
Yeah.
You met me just fine. Oh, wait, no, we didn't meet first.
We met through VR.
Oh, shut up.
And we also met through VR. I'm talking about meeting people the first time IRL. I don't talk to them. It's like if we're out in public, they're here for a goal. I'm here for a goal, and that goal is not to talk to random strangers and meet new people. The goal is to like go shopping or something like that, right? Or have a few drinks at the bar. No one goes to the bar and expects to be hit on. And at least they shouldn't expect to be hit on, but it happens sometimes.
Actually, technically, the whole bar scene is kind of like a place to try and find someone.
It is, but let me tell you,
it's where you can do it a lot easier than...
If you meet someone in the bar, they're going to be the lesser beings than if you meet someone outside of a bar. No,
not
just
necessarily. Usually,
around
yes,
me.
but not necessarily.
Okay, around me, where I'm at, if I meet a girl in the bar, I guarantee she has been in the pants of 20 to 30 guys in the last 6 months.
Okay, yeah, that is the issue.
That is a fucking guarantee around here. So, yeah, that's just not going to work for me. I don't like that. So, meeting people IRL, not going to happen. Meeting people in VR happens all the time. Do they talk to me for more than a week? Usually not. So, it kind of sucks, but, whatever.
Hey, you got all of us? You got all of us.
While you were gone, I actually mentioned I'm more socially anxious online than I am IRL because of I was a musician for like 5 years playing on stage. So when you're playing in front of a live audience, a lot of that anxiety just gets shaken off like dust on the walls, So I think I don't know how it works, but I have way more anxiety online than I do IRL. Like I'm way more comfortable talking to people face to face than I am, say, over Discord or a VR chat. I don't know how it works, but.
Oh, yeah, I'm the opposite because I will say the stupidest things in VR, but I am just like, well, if I say the stupid things in person, I am almost guaranteed to see this person again, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
If I say the dumb shit that I always say, I don't want to see their face again.
Maybe you shouldn't open up your conversation with a certain sentence then.
but it's so much fun.
Phrase.
Start off with a question. Do you like fidget spinners?
Well, it's usually
That would
how
be
do
a
you
good
feel
question.
about DBT?
I don't know what that is. I'm too old.
I don't follow.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it on podcast.
The only
not
reason I
saying
do
it.
is I've seen
Put
it
it
in
in.
action.
Put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord.
It was CBT, right?
Yeah.
I'll say it. I had a
ABC.
little
You
sip.
were not saying it on podcast.
Twitch does not like speaking of the sexual acts.
Oh,
We
great.
are not. We are not saying that on podcast.
I was so tempted.
Vampy,
Well, thank
don't
God
make me
you're
mute
not-
you.
Look, I had a little sip. I'm not actually doing it yet. God,
Jesus.
calm your nipples. I know you're exposing them, but
So the
calm.
mall have to mute him?
I can force mute anyone in the world, and it'll mute them
Oh,
globally
okay.
for everyone. Yeah.
Fancy.
Anyway, back on topic.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I prefer to meet people online and then within a few weeks meet them in person. Because it lets me meet more people that aren't just going to the bar, because the bar is the only thing around me, and the good people aren't going to be at the bar. They're going to be off doing whatever somewhere else. They're not going to go to the bar.
I think you knew me for about almost a year before we met in person. I think I met you.
Yeah, but that's
in...
VR chat, and we're not going for a relationship. Come on. I'm talking a relationship-wise, like dating.
I don't know. Do I need to dig up old
If
clips
I
from
meet
2018?
someone, oh god.
Yeah,
I'm talking
you
if
were
I'm going to
date
be
anyone back then.
if I'm going to be interested in someone to actually legitimately date them, I need to meet them IRL within a month or so
Like,
of
or her.
meeting them in VR and talking to them. Because if I don't, then it pretty much to me just shows that they only want an online relationship, and that's not what I want. I want a long-term, real life one, you know?
Yeah, you want someone to be able to marry.
A bunch of single dudes talking about relationships. Hang on, Stealth.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
he's the only married guy here.
Stealth has a wife.
Stealth
I
doesn't
do have a
He's
wife.
actually married with a kid.
Stealth succeeded in life.
Yeah, I know he's younger than me.
Well, not
I think
Stealth.
he's even younger than
Stealth
you. isn't
did
he, Turk?
the impregnation chance.
He rolled the
The
dice.
fuck did you just say?
You did the impregnation chance, and you
He did
rolled
a fucking
nat
rain
20.
dance, and all of a sudden he has a child.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
If that
you
kind of
do
rain
the-
starts falling out of the sky,
do-
we have a different problem.
You do the impregnation chance, the impregnate. You know, you do something like
might-
that, and then a stork comes like 9 months later, and you have a kid. That's how it works, right?
No, what happened
sure.
was he didn't return the slab.
I totally don't shoot down that stork and cook it up.
He didn't return the slap.
Return the slab or suffer my curse, and you get a child.
Return the
Congrats.
stork.
Oh god. So now I have this question. So I've dated people IRL. I've dated people in VR. Who else here has had the same? Has who else here has dated VR and IRL, or not just VR but online in general?
Yes,
Yeah, I've
I've
dated
done
online.
Okay, so we've all pretty much done both. That's great.
I technically have.
So, do you notice, or have you noticed a mental? I'm trying to figure out how to word this safely for podcast. More or less mental illnesses in people you meet IRL or in online.
That's gonna be a difficult one for me because, unfortunately, mine's a mixed bag on both ends, where I've got yes and no's, and for dating in IRL and dating online. Online, most recently, was someone who was a habitual liar. Lied to me for a whole fucking year about every little detail.
It's a lot easier to lie online than it is IRL.
Yeah, but there's another person who lied to me IRL, and then tried to get their siblings to beat me up, making them think I had hit the person I had been dating. When
Wow.
I don't touch my partner, just like that. So, thankfully, I had a friend that walked by and caught them and said he's not like that about me, and I managed to get out of there, no issues.
Hello, strange
But-
dragon.
But I was within a minute
Probably
of
a tough
getting my
job.
ass beat by a couple of older guys because of that. So yeah, I've had good and bad experiences on both ends. Like, another example is a good relationship IRL was technically my first. We are going for like
Hello, see ya.
we
Welcome back.
went for like 2 years dating, and it was a nice time. But we eventually just kind of drifted
There we
apart,
go. No, gotcha.
which happens. On my date, there was one person I was on and off with for years and years and years. And I still talk to them infrequently as a friend. And she actually does art, and actually what brought about this avatar, believe it or not. So, you know what I mean? It's like I've had good and bad on both sides. So
Yeah. So me personally, the people that I meet IRL, their intelligence is lower overall. But their mental stability is higher. I'm starting to wonder, are dumb people just less mentally ill than smart people? Is that a thing? I don't
They
know.
have less
I'd
chance
love
to
to
be.
know.
I'm probably about to upset a lot of people.
I'm-
They're normal because they're not constantly thinking about all the bad shit.
Oh yeah. They don't think
But-
about the bad shit.
but
They
then-
just enjoy life.
When it's people that I meet online, usually they are just overall, they have more issues that they need to work through. Whether they know it or not, it really ends up being true.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a toss-up. Is it worth trying to meet people online and dealing with the higher chance of them having things they need to figure out? Or is it worth me finding someone that doesn't know that 1 + 1 is 2?
Is it not?
I mean,
I mean, I kept hanging out with you, Turtle, and I'd say it's panned out so far.
Okay, hold on. Explain what the fuck you just said.
Oh my god!
Think about, okay, what we were just talking about earlier. Think about your conversation starters, for example.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, my
to work through,
conversation
yeah.
starters are reasonable. No, see, I do it for a reason. Because if someone can
Reasonable?
handle my conversation starters,
no,
then
no,
they can handle
I
me.
at least-
If they
I
can't,
start-
if they can't handle my conversation starters, then they can't handle me. And I weed
I
them out
start
that
off with
fast.
a dark joke usually. At least a semi-dark joke. That's how I start. You start with kinks. That is.
Well, yeah, why not? It's fun. It's entertaining. Get the
Motherfucker
conversation
tried
rolling.
saying
And,
hello.
I have.
I'm too
And-
nervous.
and people are just
shy
like,
to
"Hi."
Say hi.
go away. Hey, literally, if I walk up to someone and just say, "Hi, how you doing?" They're like, "Go away." They're like, "Okay, cool." But if I break their fucking brain right off the bat with the stupid stuff I say, then they open up and start talking like, "Wow, okay, this guy is crazy." Perfect.
Look, you
I
guys
kind
want
of
to know the
understand where you're
actual
coming from,
secret?
Turtle.
If you're still in high school, join ROTC. That's how I met my wife.
Oh my god.
So,
I kind of
relationships.
get what you're saying there, Turtle.
Currently,
With
I
that- with
believe
that- oh.
4 of us are single, right?
Oh yeah, I am. I'm trying to find someone, but I'm not in luck.
Yeah, I go back and forth between trying to find someone and just not caring. And when I stop caring, suddenly there's like a line. And I'm just like, what, where did this come from? Why is this happening? And then 2 weeks later, that line just completely disappears and I'm back by myself sitting there being like, but where did they all go?
That typically happens a lot. Everyone wants you when you're not paying attention, but the second you're on the prowl, it's like they just vanish.
What? I came to get you canceled. Oh god.
See,
What's the worst
I remember-
thing about being a black Jew?
one... Okay, no. Nope.
No, not the podcast. Nope. Nope.
Wait, what?
Just that statement.
Did we lose Turtle again?
No.
No, he's
No, I'm
He's just in
I
shock.
am ready to click the force mute on Vampy.
No. He left the room. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, did his
Like-
father walk in?
Yeah, and said something really fucked up. Anyway. So,
Yeah.
what were we just talking about a second ago? We were talking about relationships and the crazy
us
stuff
trying
we
to
say, right? Oh yeah, us trying to find. Yeah.
it.
So, I stop looking, and suddenly there's a lineup, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I have to figure out which one of these in this line are the best option for me, and start talking to them. And within 2 weeks, they're all just completely gone, and I message them, and like some of them just stopped talking to me suddenly for no reason, and I'm just like, what? Why? Where the fuck did you go? What did I do? But
Yep,
so still,
it
there
happens
is
to me too.
there is one relationship that I was in that I am so like I look back on it, and I am so angry that I ended that one. You know the
Mhm.
person. Vampy knows the person.
Oh. You'll have to mention.
You know who I'm talking about because you brought up their name in my DMs like a week ago.
I did?
Yes. About them
Oh,
joining
yeah.
Monday nights. Yeah.
Which I'm
one.
sorry, I have skipped twice now, but a lot of shit's been going down.
No, you're fine.
Like just
Yeah, there's-
yesterday, my car is not working. But we'll get on that
Ooh.
later.
So, like, I used to have this this little mindset, and I still sort of have it. If I get into a relationship and I don't think it's going to work out, I'll give it a month. If I don't think it's going to work out at the end of that month, I'm just going to end it and walk away. I have regretted that more times than not. There's also another girl that I had talked to and dated for a bit in like about a year ago, I think. She was not in the right mindset. She was not stable. I don't know if she even still exists, if you get what I mean.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Anyway,
My biggest, since you went on your the one you regret most, I might as well do mine. It's the one I mentioned already. The person who I talked to infrequently and did the art that led to this avatar. And I was on and off with them just because we kept losing touch and not talking, and that went on for years of on and off, like 5 different times.
Alright, sorry, I had to let the dogs out. I'm back. Where are we at?
Ooh. Anyway.
How about one that won't get you canceled?
Okay.
Have you ever realized that an Easter egg hunt is just a bunch of overdeveloped sperm running around looking for an egg?
I would like to get on topic, please.
yeah. So anyway,
What the fuck did I come back to?
Don't question it.
Shenanigans.
can
I'm
you
sure I
like
got it.
have your dad not? Just not?
I think that's bad. You should hear my Uncle Kevin. Jesus.
Vampy's retreating.
I force muted him.
Anyway.
That's his timeout.
Yeah. So, now I have this other note here that I wanted to talk about a little. So, relying on a relationship, people that can't, that are never single for more than a few days, maybe a week at the most. They have to be in a relationship at all times. I'm sure we all know someone like that, right?
Mm,
I'm about to call them out. Person I'm married to.
Jesus.
And I understand why. Reasons I will not disclose on podcasts. That's her story to tell.
Yeah, but like there's some people that like I've met them in VR. They're single today. I'll meet them, talk to them, be like, yeah, I like this person. They're cool. I want to get to know them more. 2 days later, they're in a relationship. A week later, they're single again. 2 days later, they're in another relationship. A week later, they're single again, and it just keeps going like that. And I'm just sitting here like, wait, wow, I was interested in you, but I no longer am. Cool.
I don't think I know anybody like that.
I think you and I both know a couple, Turtle.
I know a lot. I know a lot of people like that.
I refuse to actually say anything.
We all know someone that is just relying on a relationship. They can't be single for a minute. They hate being single. They hate the idea of being single. They just have to be with someone. And it's almost like part of their personality is requiring a relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's healthy. And I think online sort of allows that much more, especially girls doing that, because online there's a lot of guys that are just like, yeah, if you want to date, I'm down, let's go. And that if the girl's like, well, I guess guys are always interested in me, I should never be single anymore, then they end up bouncing from relationship to relationship over and over and over. And it's, see, I've had this theory that I've sort of proven right in certain cases a long time now. Like, this theory I came up with when I was in high school. It was, let's say someone is dating someone for a year and then they break up with them. To me, they should be single for half the time they were in that relationship, up to a total of 1 year, before they even start to look at another relationship. Because if you just jump from one to the next, it's not like restarting from the beginning of the relationship. It more feels like bouncing to the next and continuing where you left off, if that makes sense.
I'd agree,
So-
but maybe not
so,
make
like,
the cooldown
if they-
so heavy, depending.
Well, I mean, that's just like a good rule of thumb that I've come up with over time. And I mean, if someone bounces from, they need at least a month between,
That I
at
agree
least, at the
with.
very
Need some
minimum.
time to process it.
It's not even that. It's more, if you are in a relationship and you are doing certain things with that person you're in a relationship with, you start to like want those things more, if you get what I'm saying. Then if you're suddenly not getting those things, you want them even more. So you just get into another relationship as fast as possible so you can get right back to it. When a relationship shouldn't start out like that. Right? So it shouldn't, like, you shouldn't just jump straight into a relationship and be trying to make a fucking baby 2 days in. That shouldn't, that should never be a thing, right?
Hi Ninja says their last relationship was 7.5 years long, but they've been single since 2013, so he did it backwards. Thank you, Ninja.
Oh boy. Hi Ninja. I swear I thought you were like in a relationship when I met you, but I guess you've always been single. Oh, poor Ninja.
I guess I
Says
just
that
He's
way.
married to his soundboard.
Hi Ninja. I'll marry you.
Oh god.
I'll start
Hey,
the harem up again with you as the first.
We
I
don't
just need to
the
renew my
high-do
license
shit,
as a.
okay?
I just need to renew my license as a minister, and I'll be the one to officiate the wedding.
Oh
Oh
boy.
my god.
Aw,
I just need to
he
renew
says
my
no.
license.
Turtle's just gonna marry somebody every other weekend.
He knows.
Man, I
That's
just
basically how it used to go.
I don't know
So, yeah,
because Go ahead.
So I've had some good relationships, right? There's even there's one that me simply talking about this, I'm not going to be surprised if I get a freaking DM in the next week from this person or from someone that this person knows. But it was someone that I didn't technically date, but it was one of those, it's basically like a relationship. Everything that was happening was basically a relationship. And I guess technically there's 2 different people that if they heard this, they would think I'm talking about them. Kind of interesting that happened. I mean, if I had a nickel for each time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels. That's kind of weird.
At least they'd
Is
be
one of
shiny
those people
nickels.
me?
Yeah. No. So
You said yeah. Oh,
two different
God.
two different girls. 2 different girls that years apart. I was with them, talking to them, like doing things that you would only expect someone that's in a relationship to do. And then just suddenly they cut and they're off and they're in a relationship with someone else then. And I'm just sitting there like, fuck was I? Just a piece of meat?
One of my IRL relationships, in fact, this was way back, like in 2011. I was getting ready to have a surgery done at the time, so I really needed someone with me at the time. Thankfully, my dad stepped up to the plate to help me out, like, because I was absolutely out for like a whole week. But the girl I was dating at the time, it's this girl that the kind of girl that what her grandmother says is gospel, like anything, absolutely anything that grandma says,
I
grandma's
know
always
exactly
right.
what you're talking about.
Well, I finally got to meet grandma, and that was the last time she ever spoke to me, because apparently grandma didn't like me. Because she actually offended me, she offended my friends, she basically called us every word in the book to get away from me. And it's those type of girls that I said, you know what, okay, I'm going to give her time, and that's what my friends told me to do. I was taking the advice of the people around me, and I guess I gave her enough time to just kind of sever ties completely, because I got blocked on every platform. This is when I was using Facebook more than I use any other platform. But yeah, she blocked me on on everything. I couldn't even get a word in edgewise. So I was like, okay, I guess I got the message. Grandma didn't like me. Those are the types of relationships that I've consistently focused to avoid to this day. It's like, if you're going to take someone else's word as gospel, I mean, how are you ever going to take my word for anything?
Yeah. So
that's not a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I had a recent relationship that was I tried to start, and they, I liked them, they liked me, but they weren't replying to me, so I was talking to someone else, another of the friend that I met them through, and they happened to both be in the same room together, and I got chewed out for messaging the friend that I met the person that I was trying to get with, and it was just like the wildest thing. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? I'm not allowed to talk to someone else now? That's wild. So that only lasted like 2 days, which I don't even really consider anything. If it lasts less than a week, I don't actually consider it a relationship in any sense.
Yeah, it's too short.
Sit down, you goober.
I also sort of prefer situations where you just end up together instead of being like, hey, will you date me? That it's just kind of weird to ask that question, because if you have to ask that question, then the answer should always be no, in my eyes. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, if you have to ask someone to date you, then you don't feel like it's just not there. It should just happen. It should just be like, hey, you want to go out to eat? Yeah. Oh, you want to go out to eat again? You want to go out to the bar? You want to go hang out? If it's in VR, hey, you want to hang out and cuddle tonight and every night after that? And then it's basically like, hey, we're basically in a relationship. Let's just call it that.
So,
but then there's some people that take advantage of that sort of situation. There's people that take advantage of that and say, well, because you never asked me out, we're actually not in a relationship, so I can go do whatever I want. And it's like, wow, you don't give a fuck about anyone, do you?
Be quiet, then yes.
I've had that happen way too many times. That's why I specifically
not
have to
on
know,
me, child.
Are we not no ifs, ands, or buts because of that?
What I want is a girl to come up to me and be like, "You're mine now. Come here." And I'm like, "Okay, yep, I'm down. Let's go."
Good fucking luck, Turtle.
Yeah. Good luck. If anyone could find it, it would probably be me, and even then, it wouldn't even be a chick. It'd be a guy.
You know what? If any of you find a girl that actually does that to me, and I accept them doing that to me, $50 to you.
If I find a chick willing to do that to me, I'm keeping her. Good luck on your own.
See, I just grew up in a different time. I know VR chat, that can happen where you just are like, all right, well, we hung out this amount of time. Are we a thing? But IRL, it's more along the lines of if you hang out with somebody, they're just probably going to think you're friends unless they ask you.
It's not just hanging out.
More than that.
Let's say IRL, They ask you to come over for a movie. You ask them to come over for a movie, whatever. You're at one of your houses watching a movie, and you're cuddling up on the couch, shit like that. And you do that
Okay, yes.
a couple
okay,
times
I'll-
a week, every
I'll
week.
accept-
Would you just be like, this? We're in a relationship. We just haven't said it.
a couple times a week. On the second week, if you don't make a move, then it's not meant to be, in my opinion. Not an aggressive move, just like
See,
around, like you
I
said,
don't
cuddling
think-
and.
Yeah, I don't think you need to make a move in the sense of, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Like, fuck, anytime someone says that, I just see nerdy glasses with the fucking white tape holding them together. Like, will you be my girlfriend? Oh my god.
Turtle, I hate to break it to you.
Let me guess. You did that. With your wife.
Kind of.
Oh,
and it might not always
Did you
turn
have
out that way.
stealth? I swear. Did you ever have the nerdy glasses that were broken and you put tape on them?
No, the first time I wore glasses
Okay.
was when I was wearing her glasses at the time just to see how they felt. Otherwise, I'd never needed glasses up until I turned like 26. That's when I started needing
Yeah, it
glasses.
must have been nice.
I needed glasses for
I've never
reading, and that
needed
was about
glasses.
it.
Everyone else in my family needed glasses when they were in high school, so including my little
Yeah, I
brother.
did.
Yeah, same.
Ugh.
Child of
My
mine.
elementary
Stigmatism, man,
school
they
had
hit you
glasses.
hard.
So, does VR chat and the internet give you more opportunity for relationships or more opportunity to be put down?
I think it really
Both.
depends entirely
That-
on.
yeah, that-
It really
it's
depends on the
both,
environment
because-
in which case you find the person.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's like this. You're gonna get rejected and accepted a lot of times in real life. Online, it's the same. It's just the amount of people is expanded by what, 100-fold at the very minimum.
You
If
know
you don't
what?
sit still, I'm going to kick you off the couch. Sit down.
I want something to happen. I want to be shoved into a blind date with someone that I've never met. I don't care if it's IRL or in VR. I want to do
That
it.
does sound like a plan. Like what we should do is we should all find ways to get blind dates and see how it goes.
Or what I could
I'm
do is
kind of
do what I was
exempt
planning
from
all
that.
along, is just go to church.
Yeah, you know what? You're gonna be the one arranging them then.
I don't
You're-
want
Oh,
a
no,
very
no,
good
no,
person.
no,
You arrange the
I'm
blind
not being the
dates.
blind date
My
ringleader.
lineage
Fuck
side
you.
with me.
Still should be the blind date ringleader. He's married, so
Yeah,
he
we'll
can
just-
choose for us.
So, Stealth, yeah, we'll just bring you a bunch of girls and tell you,
Don't
hey,
you fucking
here's the
volunteer
pool,
me.
match them up with us. You're gonna be Mr.
It's gonna be
Matchmaker.
anybody. It's gonna be Bethany.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
he
We're
understands the
okay.
female mind, unlike my dumbass.
we're just gonna get a bunch of girls to add her, talk to her, and she gets to figure out which one of us she's gonna pair them with.
And you get the.
Tell you what, you
get
message
the
her and see if
privilege-
she's down for the idea.
You get the privilege of
Yeah.
telling her what our personalities are like.
Oh no, she's
Oh,
talked
she
to me and
she
Turtle
knows
before.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
She doesn't know
knows
me,
us.
I don't think.
We just have to tell her your disability, and she'll be fine with it.
She got
The
to pet his
fuck
old
you
dog.
mean?
She got to pet my first
Oh
dog,
well.
Yes, buddy,
my second dog. Buddy
Just
was
for the
my
record,
second dog.
Turtle,
the big boy.
I just want this on record. My disability is not my personality.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
If my disability was mine, I'd be going to every message board just shouting "Ree."
If I had a
I mean,
girl that
look at
shared
my
my
status right
disability,
now.
to be honest, we would never
That's
be able to
your
finish a
status,
conversation.
Turtle.
Anyways,
Okay.
Anyway,
Any other like relationships that you guys want to talk about that you've had? Any experiences,
s-
anything like that?
Well, I would say, going back to what you just said, about the whole I'd rather a girl come to me. Well, here's the thing. For years, it's always been the guy who's been like the valiant knight. We need a dragon to slay and a princess to save, bro. It's never been the other way around. The princess isn't the one that goes
But-
around killing dragons.
But
You
now
understand?
it's like it's weird and creepy for a guy to walk up to a girl and try to initiate a conversation.
Yeah, I know
No,
that
no,
just
those
comes
are
to modern day
we don't
Here's
culture.
the
talk
root
about
of
those.
Yeah.
Here's the
so,
root of the issue.
So we're in a catch-22. We're supposed to start we're as guys, we're supposed to start and initiate the conversation. But if we start and initiate the conversation, we're the bad guy for doing that at the same time, but we're also expected to do it. So how huh?
Okay, here's the
Well,
issue.
because I mean, would
also
you rather
think-
be?
It's the boss female attitude that causes it.
Would you
Because they
rather
think
be the
they're
guy who's
high above
handed everything
everyone
on a
else
silver platter, or would you rather
Choose
fight
the
for it?
best guys only.
That's a better question.
I'm not gonna fight for a girl. If I have to fight for her,
Oh no,
It's not worth
no, it's not
Well,
worth it.
and
It's
I
just
also,
I'm not getting into a fist fight with a guy.
No,
because
no,
of
I'm
shit.
saying figuratively, not literally. Okay. I'm not saying you have to go to a bar and knock out every fucking
no, I
tooth
legitimately,
in the guy's mouth.
I legitimately mean like I'm not gonna.
I'm saying,
I'm not
like,
gonna be the. I'm never
You,
gonna be
Whiskey
the guy
Willis,
that's
let's
like,
throw down.
no, choose me, choose me, choose me. Don't
Yeah,
go with
there's-
one of these other guys that like you.
let's
Choose me, go for me. I'm not gonna do that.
Let's
'Cause
put
if
it like
I have
this.
to do that, then she doesn't like me enough anyway.
In one of my relationships, I had to do that, and guess what? No more. One time was enough to tell me that doesn't work. You can't fight for someone figuratively or literally. It's not
Because
worth the
if
effort
you
or
have
the
to-
emotional pain you'll go through.
If you have to do that, then they are interested in other people already, and they just want whoever fights the most for them. And if you stop fighting because, hey, you're in the relationship with them and it's going great, and you don't have to be better than all these other guys anymore, then they're like,
No.
well, this guy's better than you, I'm gone. And it just happens all the
what
time.
happens is they will just cheat on you. Even if they
That too.
stay with you, they
Mhm.
cheat on you. It's not worth the fucking emotional wreckage. No.
I was just gonna get
Sorry, I
my
get
stance on the
heated about
matter,
that.
where it's if you have those kind of feelings for somebody, fucking tell them.
See, that's
That-
the
that
fun
is
thing.
something
yeah,
Both Bethany and I
I
were guilty
have
of.
I have told people, hey, I really like you, and they're like, I know, and then never talk to me again. Like, okay,
But you have
Cool.
your answer, right?
good talk. I did. Like, I'd
Ninja?
try to talk to them. I'd send a message every few days or whatever, and get nothing.
Ninja, work
Yeah,
up
and
the
you have your
codependence.
answer instead of
That's
having
all
to
I can
guess.
say. If you feel those emotions, Ninja, you just have to work up the courage. Trust me. Because if you don't,
Ah,
it'll be a regret.
there's something
that
called
will haunt
liquid
you
courage.
for the rest. Oh, no, let me finish
A
my
few shots of
statement.
vodka or something, you know. You don't need
Let me
courage.
finish
You
my
can get
full
that from liquid.
statement. Let me finish my full statement now. If you can bring up the courage, you're not gonna regret it as much as if you don't.
Can
and
you
see
stop
them
shoving
cat with
toys
someone
under
else.
me?
I've been through that too. You don't want it. Emotional heartbreak is the worst kind of pain.
I'm being made into a tunnel, apparently. Ignore me.
Good.
good. Also, I just wanted to say, that's also kind of an age thing. Some girls might have grown up in the time where they want a white knight. They don't want somebody to be like, well, I want you to tell me that you like me. They want to be told, hey, I like you. You want to go on a date? They like that kind of courage.
Yeah, but nowadays
it's
hard to
just different
define
times
them
to people
doing
growing
it
up.
properly.
Well, here's actually, he brought up a good point, and this actually just came to my head because somebody else actually said this to me. He says, go into something with courage and not confidence. Confidence is doing the exact same thing over and over again and getting the same result, but it takes courage to change that, and I do believe that will breed a level of respect with the woman in and of itself. I mean, regardless of the outcome.
So-
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You say no, okay, fine. The world's going to continue to spin. Tomorrow's another day. You just got to get.
The
You just
worst
got
she
to
can
learn to
say
overcome
ain't
that.
no. There is a song about
No,
that.
there's a
There is
lot-
a country
there's a lot
song
more she can say.
about.
I mean,
the worst
I
she
guess
can say ain't no.
I agree
I
with
guess
you
shit's
100%,
weirder
Sel,
than
but I just
annoying.
think it's... I agree 100%
Legitimately,
with
though,
Sel. The worst
we
you can say
can-
is no, but
If
I also agree
if
with
we-
Sel.
it's
It's so
like-
much worse.
as a guy, like if you say the wrong thing when you're talking to a girl, or give the wrong, like if you see she's interested
One
in you, so
wrong
you go
word.
in for a hug or a kiss or some shit like that at some point.
Harassment.
You might be on a fucking list for the rest of your life because of that. If you make a wrong
Yeah.
fucking move and aren't completely correct, or she just decides, nah, she doesn't want you, you can be on a fucking list.
That's
Okay,
that's an issue
when you
with
say
it.
list, I require
that's an
context.
age thing.
That's almost maybe
No,
Luther.
that's just a current culture issue.
A
The hard
government
R
list
list, probably.
that makes you have to go knocking on the doors and letting everyone know, hey, I just moved into town and I did this years ago. Just had to let you know.
Okay,
That
yeah,
list.
all right. I know exactly what list. Okay. I need
Yeah.
a clarification. My bad.
And that's
Yeah,
the
so
issue.
like making a wrong move can put us on that list, and that's pretty fucked up.
And that's why most guys do
When-
not do it anymore, because we don't
Yeah.
want that. We want to be able to live our lives. If we want that kind of situation, you know what we can work with? The corner workers.
Well, it also
Oh,
depends
boy.
because I mean, I'm not. I guess I'm not on the same page as modern day. It's like, oh, if the girl says, oh, I have a college degree, I don't care. Oh, well, I took this type of test. I don't care. I'm making $250,000. I don't care. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what degree you have. I just care that someone is in my life.
I
and
want
that-
you for you,
Yeah,
not your
but
accomplishment.
Exactly.
issue
I don't
is
care about your
women don't-
accomplishments.
Women have a different viewpoint than men. They view
Yeah.
men and their accomplishments. Men just view the women themselves and their personalities.
But that's objectifying
You do
women.
not need my help. Stop using me as a
I
taunt.
said personality, as in their
I know,
actual
I know,
personality,
but-
not their
Vampy,
And when
Vampy.
I said them, I meant the part. As
Vampy,
well.
that's
Anyway.
the thing. That's the thing, though. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, if we
Again.
just don't consider them and their accomplishments and everything they've done, and just consider them for them, there's going to be certain ones that look at us and be like, that's sexist. That's this. That's that. Is the
Those are the ones you don't wanna be near anyway.
Yeah,
And you're talking about feminists.
See, that's why I walk into a room and the first thing I say is wild, off the wall, crazy, and it gets people to be like, "Well, I don't like
welcome,
you."
Michael, sit down.
Immediate.
Stop using me as a jungle gym.
Yeah.
So I don't have to
understand
weed out the ones that are not good.
I
They
usually
weed
go with a dark
themselves out.
joke, and it seems to work as well. If they don't like dark jokes, they can go.
Well, that's how you get the depressed, suicidal girls. The dark jokes.
No, that's how you get the youngers. The ones who will
Yeah,
fucking kill
you might
if
not
Like I
wrong
said.
step.
want to say that word or that phrase.
But anyway, let's move on. As we were saying,
In
Just say gay
Minecraft,
men.
I forgot to
the
add in
women
Minecraft.
themselves is the most important part for a guy. Looks are kind
Gay
of
men.
whatever. As long as you look cute, you're good. That's all that matters.
Not always.
But most of the time, okay? How about that?
Not even most of the time, Vampy. I can tell you that now.
Fucking guy. As long as you look cute, you don't have to be sexy. You don't have to be overly hot. You don't have to be overly like fucking skinny.
A 7 out of
like
10.
hourglass
As
figure.
long as they are mentally stable, 7 out of 10 is all we need.
7, maybe even a 6 at most. Like,
Oh, did you know?
You guys are shooting pretty
When
fucking
you
high.
ask a group of girls to rate a group of guys out of 10, and ask a group of guys to rate a group of girls out of 10, the girls rate on a double bell curve where everyone's either a 0 or a 10. Basically, there's no one in the middle, so the
Yeah.
girls don't rate anyone as a 5, and the guys rate almost everyone in the middle. They don't rate anyone a 0, don't rate anyone a 10.
That's just not
everyone
true,
can be
though.
improved.
It
At least for guys.
overall, there are literally there are studies that have shown that. Just surveys asking people to rate people out of 10, and that's the data that overwhelmingly push forward through it. Like,
I'm gonna
obviously,
tell you
there's
now,
going to be
if you're
some people
relying on
that
a survey
are
to
outside
get
of that.
relationship advice, you have already
And
failed.
for all of those people, guess
It's not
what?
relationship
I know
advice.
where
It's
I'd
just
be rated.
the statistics of where you would be rated. So you're
Yeah,
either
yeah,
a 0 or
like-
you're a 10 as a guy, and as a girl,
And
you're probably a 5.
And that's why you
because
don't
of
follow the
my
statistics.
fucking
Period.
body shape right now, I know
No.
I'd be a straight up 0 to
So-
most women. So
So
it's like,
the statistics don't lie. It's the very
They
general
also
terms.
don't matter.
Most
Turtle.
No, what I'm explaining is most girls either view a guy as a 10 or as a 0. Most of the time, that is true. It's going to be somewhere in like the 8 to 10 or the 0 to 2. They don't put anyone to, in a 3 to 5 or 3 to 7.
Sorry,
They
Turtle.
don't.
This is where I
They
disagree.
barely
heavily.
ever. You can disagree as much as you want, but the statistics,
these are statistics.
do not lie.
Statistics are not something you can say, oh,
There
what-
obviously
it doesn't
are
exist.
some
It's-
girls that will put people in the middle.
Yeah. But most,
But those are outliers. The general population of girls, spread it to the edges and don't put any guy in the middle. And then even better, another one to tie into that. When you ask a group of girls to rate a group of girls, out of 10 just on looks, they pretty much always put them in the 8 to 10 range. There's outliers in the rest of it, but overall, they just rate themselves at
and
basically
the
a 10.
8s are
Child,
actually closer
stop.
to
There's-
a 5 or 4 usually.
Yeah.
There was
And then-
a study done, and I think you're getting your study confused with the actual study. It's the study on women who only date hot men and men who actually date down because they don't think they can get hot women.
No, the study that I'm talking about, I can't remember what it was, but they just took a random group of people and gave them
Yeah,
random samples
right.
of pictures. Didn't give them all the same pictures, didn't give them all different pictures, just they probably had like, 100, 200 faces for men and 100 and 200 faces for girls. And they just give them a random sample of like 10 of those and asked them to rate them. And then they ignored the faces themselves, didn't give any data on the faces because that doesn't matter because you're just going out of 200 people, you're going to have people that would look like a fucking supermodel all the way down to a hobo.
I mean,
Right.
200. You're
And
talking about
that's-
200 people. Is that enough of a data size to actually solidify the argument? That's a pretty
Yes.
small data pool. That's a very small data pool
Well,
in
let's put it
comparison.
like
200
this.
faces. 200
I know.
faces being
Yeah.
rated out
versus
of 10.
200,000. I would if it was 200,000, I would actually believe it. But
Sir,
what he's saying is
Sure.
there was 200
They-
faces of each man.
I
women,
don't
and they
I
were
don't know
given to
exactly how many
however
people did the ranking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
a lot
it's a
of
different
people
number than
rated those few hundred faces.
okay,
A large number of people
Yeah.
rated those few hundred faces.
okay.
Those few hundred faces were just there as placeholders to figure out.
Oh, how many
What
people
was it-
actually
what it
rated
was.
the faces, but not the actual faces? Okay, all right. I got my numbers
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
The only thing that
I'd
I
have
know
to
in
look
terms
up
of studies
that study, but that study was really cool.
the only study that I know that can be cited and confirmed is women, most of the time, a majority of women in their mid to late 30s, early 40s are more focused, career-oriented, and not interested in finding a relationship or a marriage. That's like the one study that I can cite and confirm that is true.
Yeah. They gotta survive.
Yeah.
that's an
So-
issue on its own because.
But men who
unfortunately-
are in their mid to late 30s, early 40s, they're still focused on actually finding women. They're actually trying to still actively find a partner. It's not
And
until
that's
your mid to late
probably
40s
why-
that they actually stop or slow down. That drive starts to slow down.
That right there is probably why you see a lot of guys in their 30s to 40s dating people in their late 20s.
teens. Like,
Because they're
teen-
still
like,
because
not
women in their
teens.
mid to late
No,
20s
no, no,
even
no, no,
are
no.
still actively looking for partners. Like they're more active in their
Exactly.
mid to late 20s than they are in their 30s.
well,
I mean,
another
for the
thing
most part,
is-
you don't see guys dating people substantially older than them. For the most part, you don't see that really. But you do see guys dating people that are younger than them.
Right.
And by substantial, I mean like 10 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a 10-year. I think there's like a 12-year gap
shit.
between my stepdad and my mom.
My stepmom is closer to my age than she is my dad's.
That's kind of creepy.
She's literally literally like 10 years older than me.
I mean, that's I know your dad's situation. That is not a normal situation.
But either way,
because my mom and my stepdad are only 4 years apart, and my stepdad is 4 years older than me.
but yeah, the whole thing is there's a difference between men and women too. Women have a biological clock. Men don't really have that.
What do you mean by that?
After I think it's like between the ages of 35 and 45 for women, it becomes difficult or nigh
me,
impossible to actually have kids.
Yeah,
at
there
that
is a certain age. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Whereas
Anyways.
men, we can be 80 and have a child with someone.
Although, if you read into that a little more, you will find out that men that have kids later in life, those kids are more likely to have developmental disabilities.
No, yeah,
My
yeah.
kid's
I'm
more
not
than
saying
likely
there
gonna
isn't
be
issues
retarded
with
when
it.
he's born.
I'm just saying
I'm not
we
even
don't
going
have
to-
a biological
That's our one pass,
limitation
Twitch. That's
in
our one
age.
pass.
One pass. We can't say it again.
That's all I'm saying is men just
They
don't
didn't
have
get
a
a pass.
time limit on actually being able to,
Yeah.
whereas women do have like a stopping point where
Yeah.
it just becomes impossible.
I know it's the same for men
a lot
because-
of girls use that that time from their early
just have-
20s to their 30s
to
to
just-
just go and have a blast, right?
But the problem is
Well-
then, by the time they reach that age, it's too late. They can't have kids anymore, and so they mess up their own lives through that.
So let's go ahead and wrap up here.
I want to wrap up with one final question.
All right.
Hey, Stealth,
Hmm.
how's married life?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Yeah,
I
but
hope
is it
it'd be fine
everything
for
you
the
thought
other
it would
four
be,
of us.
or is it better? Or... I know you're probably not going to say it's worse, but is it better?
I'd say
Is it
more
about
chaotic
what you
than I
would-
thought it'd be, but that's mostly just given our situation. That doesn't really have to do with the marriage itself.
But I bet it's more fun.
If you find
Interesting.
the right partner,
I should use the word
Define
interesting. Interesting, not fun. Interesting.
Interesting for sure. Fun, it depends on if we even have a chance to go out.
Oh,
That's fair.
Toby.
Okay.
I mean, they have a kid after
Yes.
all. It's hard for them
Yeah.
to get to that point.
Want to go to the bar?
Once the kid gets older, like in their teens,
No.
then they can have more fun again.
We
Then
gotta
we'd probably have
socialize,
more
man. We
free
gotta get
time
out of the
because
house and
This one won't even want to
socialize.
be in the same room as us.
I did say in this middle of the stream, my bloodline ends with me.
You
I
still
hope
need
my
to
brother gets some.
socialize.
Oh,
Anyway,
the
so let's go ahead and
Martial
wrap
line
up.
ends with me.
So this has been episode 29 of the Beyond Pixels podcast.
Fuck it, you should never forget.
You
My
like that,
question
Hugh?
is, what are we gonna do for episode 30? We should do something actually pretty cool and special for episode 30.
What
Turtle,
could we
you
talk
mentioned
about next
wanting
week?
to get people for the little event you and I did on for an episode.
Oh yeah, next Thursday, we're looking at doing one about. So me and Stealth were in a Last to Leave the Circle challenge in VR chat, and we have a few people from that. I want to bring them on to talk about their experience there, and what they'd like to see events like that going forward in VR.
Okay, so next topic will be like online events.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Specifically
perfect.
focusing on VR chat, like
Can you stop,
I guess they call it
child?
Mr. Beast style challenges.
You should probably make sure that it's okay. You can talk about that if it's not released yet.
Well,
We already know about that. It's
yeah.
I'll tell you guys
We
more about it
friended
after
the
the
event
podcast
host,
today. But
so
yeah, I'm
Okay.
friends with him now. Hopefully, going to be helping him with stuff. But anyway, so thanks for being here. Oh hey, someone just unfriended me. That's cool. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. You guys are
Oh
awesome.
God. Who did
He
it? Who
lost
did
one
it?
of his 4,000.
Of course, we start talking about
7,500
relationships, and it's just like,
actually.
oh fuck this guy.
Anyway, so thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for watching. If you like what we're talking about and want to
Let's
see
go.
more, always hit the follow, subscribe, like the video, all that jazz. Find us in Discord. There's always a link down below. You can join in to the conversation. We also have a Monday night game night in Tabletop Simulator. We do have some seats available for that still, if anyone wants to join for that. Anything else that we need to bring up before we do the shilling?
Real quick, at the time where we're making this podcast, today is the 80th anniversary of our boys storming the beaches of Normandy in 1944. So thank you for your service. 80
Yeah.
years ago. That's a
I
long-
want to
Wow.
especially thank War Daddy, who was a
Beyond
banker,
D-Day.
and Jake McNasty, McNeese.
Yeah. If we weren't doing this podcast tonight, I would have been on Rumble talking about it.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead
Damn
and
it,
do the
Turtle, we should have
shilling
been
now.
talking about that.
Yeah. Never had a chance
So
to
we'll
say
start with
how we
Stealth.
officially got together, but I'll save it for later. Y'all can find me at twitch.tv/StealthTheFox. Usually, I try and do Tabletop Mondays with this boy, but too many excruciating circumstances have caused me to cancel twice. So, it is very much a tentative thing. If I'm live, I'll welcome ya. If not, I'm not dead. Probably. Most likely not.
Okay. And Vampy.
Well, I haven't streamed yet. I might be streaming the next day. Might stream tomorrow with a guy I've befriended because we're both looking at doing V-Rising because he's actually just got it and it might be fun to stream.
I do want in on
and
that, by the
chill.
way.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about it, but yeah, I already mentioned you to him. Anyways, you would find me at Sir_Bloodworth. I do not have my new PC, so expect some frame issues when I stream. Other than that, have fun. I'm going to go crazy at this point because of my sleep schedule being so fucked up.
And Sobi, if you got anything to say.
You can find me at twitch.tv/SobeFresh47. I streamed for like 30 minutes this weekend, and then I had to stop because the frames dropped because I'm streaming on my Xbox. Turtle did give me equipment to fix that. I just have not used it yet. So I'm going to try to stream this weekend. I'm still trying to beat Dead Space 2 on the hardest difficulty. It's been a pain in the ass. So hopefully I'll see you this weekend. That's it.
Okay, and Sorkutwi.
I officially launched the Madwire podcast last week. You can find it over at rumble.com. Just look me up, SYRKATRII. I'm also on YouTube, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. If you see me on TikTok, that is not me. Report that account and make sure that those fuckers get banned. I'm not going ever to that China app. But yes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, come and find me on Rumble.
Okay, and once again, thank you all for being here, and we will be talking about
I'm
that event next Thursday for next episode. So stay tuned.
Oh, and real quick,
Damn.
in the comments section down below for YouTube, for our YouTube audience watching, what's the craziest relationship you've ever been in? Let us know in the comments
Oh,
section
God.
down below. Please
God,
don't
that's-
name names,
My current
but
one.
what's the craziest
I had
relationship
this
you
one
or a friend of
waifu and
yours?
she died.
Okay,
the
and
fuck?
we'll go ahead and pass you guys on.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Chad.
Yeah.
Fix your hair real quick.
There you go, piss like a racehorse.
And that's